Welcome to Aether United Interviews, where we interview people within the blockchain as well as various esports. My name is Izzy, and today we'll be joined by Christopher Pollock. He is an esports journalist who works for Rift Herald, a highly respected news resource, and we are really happy to have him here today. We wanted to ask him a little bit about his opinions on the upcoming International League tournament, the mid-season Invitationals. To give viewers a little bit of background into MSI, MSI is a tournament that runs around the middle of the League of Legends season. Teams from each region will be allowed to attend, and the winners will leave with up to $400,000 USD. Okay, so regarding the power rankings, would you be able to rank the teams kind of from best to worst, and with a short explanation why?
Look, I tend to shy away from power rankings just because I feel like it's much more subjective than simply ranking them. I mean, I think obviously Korea is Korea, and they're usually pretty well, but also the Korean Kryptonite Flash Wolves are going to be there. So if they remember exactly how to close out games, then they should probably do pretty well. I mean, I would probably put them in tiers.
Right.
I would say tier 1 being South Korea, LMS, so SKT, Flash Wolves, and G2. I don't think has China. Chinese grand final hasn't been decided yet, so we don't know who's attending from China.
Right.
I was just thinking, why don't I know who's representing China? It's because it hasn't been decided yet. Literally not finished. So I don't know if it's controversial to dump on TSM.
Right.
But I'm probably going to put them at the very top of the second tier.
Right.
From there, I will say Red Canids and Virtus Pro. I'll put them, and I'd probably say Lion Gaming as well.
Right.
Would be a good second tier, and then everyone else in tier 3. So Rampage, Isaurus, Direwolves, and BAU Supermassive, and some and the team from SEA.
Right. Cool.
And the reasoning for that, especially if you've been watching the games from all of these regions as they've been approaching to the end, like a lot of these grand final runs have been the teams that have actually ended up winning have been pretty dominating through the rest of their splits. And so they've proven that they can perform consistently. And now with MSI being longer than ever, the ability to keep churning out games that they can actually win is going to mean a lot more than it has before.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of my justification for there. I mean, yeah, TSM has been very hit and miss. They're just below that tier 1.
Yeah. Right.
In my.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you think that there are any teams that are going to particularly stand up, or potentially not meet our expectations for this season?
Yeah. Okay, so G2 obviously failed horribly last year at MSI. They went on vacation beforehand, blah, 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 all news. I don't think they're going to make that mistake again. They have actually been working super hard. I expect G2 to show up in a big way. I think Flash Wolves can, if they remember to close out the games, if they remember that you have to destroy the Nexus to win, then they can potentially upset SKT. As far as dark horses go, from the lower tiers, I think. Oi! Shut it! I don't know why I yell at dogs in an Irish accent. That's weird. Brazil and Russia, I think are looking pretty good as well. Lion Gaming from LATAM and Direwolves from Oceania. I think are the other ones that look on the right day, on the right game, if the wind is pointing in the right direction, they can produce some pretty big upsets.
Yeah, right, cool. For this MSI, do you see anyone potentially challenging SKT?
Well, yeah, I mean, as I said, Flash Wolves is Korean Kryptonite. They've shown at Worlds that they actually do know how to take down these just Korean teams in general. But I mean, SKT specifically. SKT's play is not perfect. I mean, they're very good at what they do, but what they do is not perfect. And there are exploitable weaknesses, and you need a team that can recognize them and take advantage of them. That's what Flash Wolves excels at.
Right.
unfortunately, Flash Wolves fall over in late game. So if the game goes to late game, there's a bit of a problem. But so I think Flash Wolves could be a serious contender, depending on what happens in China. Do you think this weekend, and the grand final is, we could see a Chinese upset as well, because some of those top teams have been performing. That said, they occasionally just to forget that they're playing League of Legends and just go do something else for 20 minutes and go, oh, the game's over, Nexus is dead. Crap. So if the Chinese team actually decides to play, then they could potentially do it as well. And the reason that I think China has the potential to upset these Korean teams, and Korean teams strive to play perfect League of Legends. Whereas the Chinese teams, they take a lot of influence from that. They definitely want to play this sort of macro heavy style, but they also want to fight you. If they think that they can get a complete, full ace with one team member with just their support remaining with like 100 health, they'll take that fight because they want to fight you and win off it. And that's, I don't want to say insanity, but that kind of aggression can be surprising to teams that are used to a more controlled style.
Yeah, totally. Okay, cool. Do you see any NA teams potentially making it from the play-ins to the group stage this year?
Well, I mean, it's TSM. So yeah, I mean, I think they will play through. I do expect them to be in kind of the top 6. Right. It remains to be seen as to whether or not they make top 4.
Right, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it.
That's all right. Happy to be here.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much. See you.
No worries. Bye.
Thank you so much for being here for this week's interview. All of Chris's links will be down below, and we will see you next week.